So let's speak now about the choleric people. As I told you, these are action-oriented people. They have a quick, intense, and sustained reactivity to external stimuli. Quick, intense. This is the important word here. Intense, intensity. They have a lot of energy. The choleric people have a biological energy that is stronger than the other temperaments. What are their positive tendencies? Enthusiasm, energy, decisiveness, self-confidence. He is aware of his talents. He is eminently rational and pragmatic. He's a natural entrepreneur and organizer. He gets many things started. He is a natural manager. He gets many things done in a short time. He is comfortable with power and blossoms in competition. These are the fundamental traits of the choleric. But you have also defects of cholerism, the negative tendencies, I would say, of cholerism. He is prone to pride, anger, hatred. Well, all those famous dictators in the world were fundamentally choleric people. Yeah. So he's prone to rashness, precipitation in decision or action. He tends not to recognize his mistakes. Guys, remember we're speaking about biological tendencies. So if you're choleric and you recognize your mistakes easily, you have to think, okay, I've been working on myself. It's a good point. I've been developing humility. So all the words we're mentioning here, remember, these are biological statements. These are not moral statements at all. Purely biological things. He's prone to blind activism. He tends to be confrontational and dictatorial. He tends to be insensitive and roll over his co-workers' feelings to accomplish the task at hand. He doesn't take the time to mold, convince, or teach the people he's in charge of. So the choleric is someone who has an idea in his head, I want to achieve a goal. For him, this is the priority. He's a manager. He's a manager. He's born a manager. No one is born a leader. None of us are born leaders. You become a leader by developing your virtues, especially magnanimity and humility, greatness and service. But you have people that are born managers, of course. Many people are born managers. These are the action-oriented people. These are the cholerics. For them, it's not so complicated to get things done because they have the energy for it, because they like to do things, because they love to move things forward. And it's not at the level of their values, not at all. It's at the level of their own biology. It's a biological thing. They are biological managers. You understand me? Very often people say, well, leaders are born. I say, no, managers are born, not leaders. Okay, so you see the distinction. It's a very important thing. So now let's see in practice, what does this mean? The virtue of prudence. In the virtue of prudence, you remember we have two things. We have deliberation and decision. A choleric person is prone to rashness, so to charge ahead without proper reflection. And he tends not to seek advice. So he has a minus in terms of deliberation. So those of us who are choleric here, we need to think. I am Othello. Othello, this is the guy you see on the picture, by the way. I am Othello, so I am a choleric, which means that I have a tendency to go directly to the decision. I make a decision, I kill someone, and after I ask, who are you, the one I have killed? So you put questions after you've done the job. It's a biological tendency for choleric people because they are action-oriented people. So they don't like very much this idea of deliberation. Guys, let's do it. They want to get things done. So they have a tendency not to ask for advice. Choleric people biologically don't like to ask for advice. They have to know this. That's why it's important to know. When you know this, you understand, okay, I have to make an effort to ask for advice more. Othello never asked for any advice. Just do the thing. And very often the wrong thing, by the way. But on the side of decision, he's good. I mean, biologically, he is directed towards decision. So he exhibits self-confidence and he's decisive from a biological point of view. And this is a good thing because the heart of prudence is not deliberation. The heart of prudence is decision. So these people don't have problems with decision. They may have problems with right decisions. You know what I mean? So that's what they must remember. I have no problem with making a decision because I'm a choleric. My problem is going to be I need to think twice before making a decision to be sure that it is the right decision. But because the heart of prudence is decision, you must not castrate, frustrate a choleric, telling him all the time, hey guys, you need to think more before acting. You need to think more before action. Because what's going to happen is going to happen that this poor man, that is a poor woman who is directed towards action, now is going to think too much and he's going to lose his capacity for action because he will feel frustrated. He will feel, I need to think 2 years now before making a decision. So his strong point is the capacity to make a decision, and you're telling him now, okay, now you need to think 3 months before making any decision. So you're going to kill in this poor guy the capacity to make the decisions. So you have to be realistic with that. You have to help him, ask for advice, think twice, but don't tell him, don't do the thing. Don't make a decision. You have to tell him, okay, it's good guy. You're a decision maker. I like it. That strong point you have. Don't stop, don't destroy this strong point of yours. You're a decisive person. But just I want to help you a little bit, which is I want to help you think more about the decision you're making. Courage. Because these people have a very strong, powerful biological energy, they have no much problem with courage. They have almost a biological courage, if I could say. They have natural audacity, biological audacity. He exhibits self-confidence. They are self-confident. So it's not complicated for them to be bold. It's not complicated. It's not hard for a choleric to be bold. It's not a challenge, boldness for him. Endurance is not a challenge neither because he is marked by sustained reactivity. It's not a big challenge, endurance, for these people. But remember one thing. Because we're speaking here about biology, you have to think about this. It's not complicated for me, a choleric person, to be bold or to be endurant. It's not complicated for you until you're healthy. Because temperament is a biological thing. So which means that you can be bold, endurant, but the day you have a cancer or you spend a very bad night, maybe this will be a problem because it's biological strength. You follow me? It's not a spiritual strength, it's biological. Which means choleric people need to understand this. I have a biological strength, but this biological strength can be destabilized by a disease, by something biological. While phlegmatic people that have developed courage, boldness, this is very spiritual in them. And it is not under the power of a disease. It's a spiritual strength. It's a virtue. So very often what happens in choleric people, it is that they think that they can manage with their biological strength. But as soon as a disease or something strong happens to this biology, something that destabilizes it, they understand, I was not courageous. I had biological strength, but this was not courage. You follow me? So a good thing is a choleric person that has real spiritual courage and that also can use his biological powers in order to do great things. Just think of someone like St. Paul. St. Paul was a choleric personality, very choleric temperament, but at the same time he has an extraordinary courage. So every time the biology didn't work, he was still courageous. He was beaten to death, he was almost dying, well, he was still walking. So this has nothing to do with biology, it's spirit. So it's a good thing to have both, the spiritual and the biological, because this gives you an incredible energy to do great things in life. But you cannot think, I am a choleric, so I have to count all my life on my biological strength. No. You have to be sure that you also have the virtue of courage that you have been developing. And how do you know this? You know this when you know that you have courage when you are used to do things that you don't like. Yes. If you are used to do things that you don't like, you say, I am courageous. Because I am doing something I don't like. So it's not biology. It's my spirit that helps me do those things I dislike very much. Okay, so this is the way to understand that you are developing also a spiritual strength that is called courage, and you don't just count on your biological strength that is your temperament.